analytical part of a graph network. Okay, so we will discuss about some of the metrics that are involved here in graph networks. We have seen some abstract view of this network metrics in our previous classes. So, in regard with our module 4, okay, so you have to know about what is social network analysis and this network measures and metrics that we are going to discuss today. You have to have some idea about it. And then hubs and authorities. That concept you should know. Okay, you can kindly recall those concepts. And then Higgs algorithm. Okay, so Hobson authority score updation, that is nothing but Higgs algorithm. And then we have seen about uh, page ranking algorithm we have seen. In the previous classes, we have seen given a network, which node is having the highest page rank. Okay, so these are all the concepts that we have seen so far. Okay, so dear friends, now we will see about this social network metrics. Okay, we have seen an abstract view of what is a metric for a given graph. Okay, so now you connect that um, network metrics. We are going to apply the graph theory concept over this social network analysis, over the social network data, how we can apply this um, network metrics. That is nothing but graph theory concept. So how to implement the graph theory concept over your social network data. Okay, that is what we are going to see for today. Okay, so now if we look over here, wait, I'll just open it in Microsoft Edge so that I can edit with Microsoft Edge. Okay, so the first matrix is degree. You know what is degree? Degree is nothing but the number of connection a node have in a network. So here each node is going to be a social network user. Okay. User 1, user 2, user 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. These nodes are nothing but, let me assume these are all the users who are having accounts in Facebook. Okay. And they have connection. Okay. Everyone have a friend connection. 1 and 2 is a friend. 1 and 3 is a friend. 3 and 9 is a friend. 9 and 6 is a friend. So like that, we are forming a network using some group of um, users who have account in social network and they have friendship relationship. Okay, so now how to find degree, density, connectedness, between the centrality, ego centrality, closeness centrality? So these are all the things we are going to see now. Okay, so how to find out? Usually this can be accomplished using social network analysis package, which is available in R. The package name is library. It is available in SNA package. The package name is SNA. If you want to create a graph, you have to give the syntax as graph. Okay, you give the syntax as graph with total number of nodes it do have and all the links you have to specify. So you can generate a matrix format of your graph using SNA package. How to find out the degree? What is a degree? Degree is nothing but the total number of connectivity a node, okay, a user do have in the given network. Okay, so that is the degree. So it is a very simple measure based on how well a node is connected with other nodes in the given network. We have two different graphs. One is directed graph and another is undirected graph. Am I right? So let me take this example. Okay, so this is a directed or undirected graph. This is obviously a undirected graph. Undirected means there is no arrow mark from source and destination. There won't be any directed edge between the nodes. Okay. So now what is the degree of 1? What is the degree of 1? How many connections 1 have? 1, 2, 3. So the degree of 1 is 3. What is the degree of 2? Only one connection. So 1. So in this way, you can given a social network. So you don't think like it's a graph now. Okay. You see it as a social network where each node is a user. How many connections user 1 have? 2 have 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you want to find the degree, you just in R programming, you will give degree of the given graph. So we will get, I think they have given it for the graph. Okay. So they will give it as 1, 2, 3. Okay. 3, 1, 2, 4, for 4, 3, 5, 2. Okay. 6, 2, 7, 1, 8, for 8, only 1, for 9, 3, and for 10, 0. So this is the number of connections each users in a social network do have. That is called as degree. Okay. So for a given graph, you see for this big graph they have given. Okay. For this entire graph, they have checked for how many connections that they have. So the next thing is density. Okay. What is the density of a given social network? Okay. So you can identify it by dividing the number of existing edges divided by number of possible ones, assuming there is no duplicates or loops. Okay. So you assume this particular graph. The graph. Okay. See here, what is the total number of possible connections for 10 nodes? Possible connection is 10 into n minus 1 divided by 2. That is going to be the overall possible edges we can find. So possibly if there is 10 nodes present in your given social network, it can have 45 number of maximum number of possible connections can exist. Okay. Now out of this 45 connections, okay, you see how many edges or connections is present in the given node. Okay. So you just see over here, the graph has 18 edges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So this is 9. Why they have, okay, they have seen, they have considered the big graph. Okay. Okay. So for here also we have 10. Okay. Totally 10 numbers, 10 nodes are there. Okay. Just give me a minute. So out of this 45 possible connections, okay, it is having how many connections actually exist? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 divided by 45. They have this 18 is for this big graph they are considering. Okay, this entire graph has been considered over here. So actual density of the graph will be like out of 45 connections to exist, out of 45 connections, that is possible number of connections, only 9 connections is there. So 9 divided by 45 will be the density of the graph. Okay. So we have to assume there is no loops and duplicates are available in the. So what is the use of this density parameter? Okay. If you want to know how strongly a given social network graph is strongly connected, okay, such a network can be identified. If I'm giving two different networks and I'm asking you to find out which graph is strongly connected, which means that it is highly resistant to link failures. Okay. If I'm trying to pass a message from 3 to 7, Since this graph is strongly connected, it will pass through 1, 4, 5, and 7. Okay, so this is how the density of the graph can be identified. To identify how strongly and well connected the nodes are. Okay, we have another metric is there, connectedness. Okay, so this is also a way of computing the density only. Okay, but the difference is you will be identifying this connectedness only for directed graph. Okay, it is going to be the fraction of all group of two nodes U and V. Okay, such that there exists a path, an undirected path from U and V should exist. That is called as connected. This is also used for identifying to resist the link failure. You see in this example, okay, we consider the old graph. Okay, we have you see node 10, 2, 7, 8. Okay, they have been apart from the graph. Anyhow, they are connected. They have been like an outlier. They are available. The node are not well connected. In that 10 is in a very bad situation. It is not well connected with anything. Consider how you can compute the connectedness. Okay, so it is going to be the ratio of the number of connections every node that do have in the network. Okay, for every node in the network, you have to compute how many connections they do have. Okay, through all the paths that they pass through, divided by total number of nodes that do exist. Okay, so if you see here, for the first node you take, okay, first node 1 can connect it to 2, okay, and then 1 can connect it to 3, 1 can connect to 4, 1 can connect to 5 through 4, 1 can connect to 7 through 4, 5, 7, 1 can connect to 6 through 4, 1 can connect to 9 through 1, 3, 9, 1 can connect to 8 through 8. So 1 can connect to 10? No, not possible, 0. Okay, so we have to confine that except this node. Okay, don't go with self loop. Okay, except this, how many possible connections are there? So every node in the network will have 8 possible connections. It can reach all other nodes. That is the fact here. If I take 2, how many remaining nodes are there? 9 nodes. Am I right? Except 2, how many other nodes are there? Out of 10, you neglect 2 because from 2 only we are going to find out the connectedness. Okay. So from 2, what is the remaining number of nodes? 9. Out of 9, one node can never be connected. So 8. Okay. So if you compute it for all the nodes, for one, what is the number of connections it have? The first hop, that is the immediate degree is only 3. That is accepted. But still I can connect with all other nodes through passing through the nodes which have been connected in my path. If I take 1, what is the remaining number of nodes? 9. Out of 9, this one is can never be connected. Okay, so 1 to 2, there will be one connection. 1 to 3, 1 to 4. So how many connections this can make? It can make 8 connections. Okay, so you have to compute it for every node, how many connections it can take. So it is 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8. For 10, how many connections is there? 0. So you see here, the connectedness of the graph is, this is the first 8 is for node 1. Second is for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. For 10, how many connections are there? 0. Okay, divided by the sum of the nodes that do exist in the graph except the current node. Okay, if I take node number 1, how many remaining nodes are there? I have eight connections are there, plus this 10 also is there because that exists in the network. I'm assuming that this is available in my network, but it is not connected. That was the problem here. Okay, so out of 10, for every node, what is the remaining number of nodes that do exist? For 1, it has 9. For 2, it has 9. So we have 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9. So you sum up all the value and divide it by it, you will get 0.8. So this graph's connectedness is 80% of the graph is connected. 80% of the graph is well connected. In that aspect, we have to say. Okay. So this is connectedness. And the next thing is betweenness centrality. Okay. So what is betweenness centrality? It is a measure of degree to which a given node lies on the shortest path between other nodes in the graph. That is called as betweenness centrality. Okay. I'll just change this. Give me a minute. Stop. So you see this particular thing. This is a betweenness centrality. Since I have two different materials to refer, you see what is betweenness centrality here. So we'll come back here to betweenness centrality. Okay. So assume this is going to be the graph that we are going to consider. Okay. Give me a minute. So I'll go to here. It is not loading. Is it visible to you? But at least this is visible to you. So what is this betweenness centrality is, it is going to be the measure, okay, to find out the ratio of the shortest path that do exist between a node S and T, okay, divided by the total number of shortest path that passes through the vertex B. Okay, that is the betweenness centrality. So when we look into this example, okay, look into this example, we have to consider any node. Okay, consider any node, and for the given node, you find out all the path that do exist to reach a node A to node B. Okay, you take all possible nodes which can passes through V. Okay, and you have to sum up all those paths, and then you have to divide it by the overall number of paths that do exist in the given graph. Okay, that will give us to find out which node is having the highest betweenness centrality. Okay. So the next, I'll show one example for betweenness centrality. For the nodes 2, 7, 8, and 10, okay, there won't be any shortest path that will exist because further I can't move anywhere from 2. Either I have to go to 1 or I can't go for any other extension of path to traverse from 2. It is out like 2 is a dead end. Okay, 7 is a dead end. 8 is a dead end. Okay, 10 is a, even it is worse than the dead end. There is no such connections over there. So if we look over here, the nodes 1, okay, and then 3, and then 4, 5, 6, okay, and then node 9. These nodes in the network will have the highest betweenness centrality. Okay. So the next thing is egocentric network. Okay. So when we are considering a graph will have some set of vertices. So what is an egocentric network is, okay, it is going to be a subgraph of a given graph which have some neighbors will exist there. It is out like from the main graph, you can find some local subgraph which have some connections and neighborhood. That is called as egocentric network. If you consider here, okay, we can have some subgraphs. You see here, 9 can be identified as the node, okay, which has 3, 6, and 9. This can be identified as a subgraph. If we take over here, even 5 and 7 is a subgraph. Okay, so we can find the egocentric value of the nodes. Okay, so how to find out? You see here in this example, I'll just go. So if we look into this example, okay, ego dot extract of graph comma 6. Okay, so what it will take is, it will take the input graph and it will return the list of the nodes, okay, which containing the egocentric network, which are centered on the vertices named in the ego. Okay, so what is the node which we have given here? Ego dot extract of graph comma 6. Okay, so for 6, what are all the nodes which can be immediately available as a egocentric nodes? So we can see 6 to 4, 4 to 9. Okay, so this particular node is renamed as 1, 2, 3, and it will display its connectivity. This is how you can identify, you can extract a subnode from a given network, and you can identify it as a egocentric network. Okay, so this can be done using a tag called as ego.extract. Okay, next thing is closeness centrality. Closeness centrality is going to be a given social network. Okay, it will find out the rate, the centrality of the nodes by its distance with other nodes. Okay, based on the distance with other nodes, you can find out the closeness centrality. So closeness can be identified by the formula v minus 1, that is the number of vertices in the node, number of users in the node, divided by the sum of all the distances between a node V and all other node Vi in the given network. That is called as closeness centrality. Okay. So what is the use of this closeness centrality is, as far as closeness centrality value is getting increased, it means every node in the network can be reachable to all other nodes in the network. Okay. So if a graph is connected, I'm identifying some of the nodes which have the highest closest centrality, which means from the given node, I can reach all other nodes in the network. That is the concept of closeness centrality. You see over here, I'm having a small graph. I have to find out which node is having the highest closeness centrality. Okay, this is my graph 4, 6, 9. What is the formula for identifying the closeness centrality? Number of vertices minus 1. V minus 1 divided by sum of all the distances that do exist between the node V and Vi. Am I right? Now, dear students, you just see this example. Okay. Close the centrality for the node 6. Okay. How many vertices are there? 3. 3 minus 1. Then divided by, find out the distance with all other nodes that do starts from 6. From 6, I can reach 4 in how many steps? 1 step. I can reach 9 from starting from 6 in 1 step. So 1 plus 1. That is the distance of V comma Vi. You got it? So 2 divided by 2 is equal to 1. So 6 has the maximum closeness centrality. We'll go with other nodes also. Okay. Now I have to find out the closest centrality for 4. Am I right? For 4, what is the numerator? 3 minus 1. So 3 nodes are there. So 3 minus 1 divided by, from 4 you reach 6. How many steps you want? One step is enough. From 4 I have to reach 9. How many steps I want? 1, 2. So 1 plus 2. So 2 divided by 3 is equal to 0.667. So that is the closest centrality of 4. And then what is the same way you just see closest centrality of 9. For 9, in the numerator 3 minus 1 divided by 9 to 6 1 step plus 9 to 4 2 steps. So 1 plus 2 3. Okay. So 2 divided by once again 3, it will also have 0.667. So the closest centrality of my given graph, for 6 it is 1, for 4 it is 0.667. For node 9, the value is 0.667. So what you are going to infer from this, what is the use of this closest centrality is, the node which has the highest closest centrality, okay, will be the node which has the maximum reachability. If I start from 6, I can cover and reach maximum number of nodes in my network. That is called as closeness centrality. Okay, so I hope you're seeing. We'll go for the next metric. The next is page ranking. Okay, anyhow, we have covered that. So I will come back here. How to find the diameter of a graph. Okay, given a social network data, you have to find out the diameter of the graph. I hope this PPT is visible to you. See, in this example, you find the Schimble distance. That means the normal distance only you're going to find out. Okay, you're going to find out the Schimble distance between every nodes in the given graph. Okay, so you see here, from 1 to 1, 0, 1 to 2, how many, what is the distance? 1, 1 to 3, the distance is going to be 1, 1 to 4, you start from 1, okay, you start from 1, 1 to 4, the distance, the shortest path is 4, 1 to 4 is 2, 1 to 5 is 2, like that you have to find out the distance matrix, okay. So what is the diameter of a graph? Diameter of the graph is the length of the shortest path between the most distanced nodes. Okay, you consider the node 217. Consider a node 217. How many links, how many steps I need to proceed for reaching 2 to 7? I need 4 steps I need. So the distance is 2 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to 5, and 6 to 7. So this is going to identified as the shortest path between the most distanced nodes. Okay, this 217 is identified to the most distanced node. And what is the shortest path I do have? I can go through this way also. 1 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to 1, 1 to 3, 3 to 5, 5 to 7. But comparatively, I have another shortest path, 1 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to 5, 5 to 7. So the distance d value is 4. So that is going to be called as diameter of a graph. Okay. So now come back to the betweenness centrality. I will show you a small example. Consider this graph. Okay. So consider this graph. What is the formula for our betweenness centrality? The formula for betweenness centrality is the ratio of total number of shortest path between the nodes U and W divided by total number of shortest path between the same U and W that passes through the vertex. Okay, so which is going to be acting as a bridge? That is our idea behind this betweenness centrality. Okay, you see this example, we will wind up with this. Okay, you consider C. C is going to be the vertex for which I'm going to find out the betweenness centrality. Okay. So what are all the possible combination of edges that do exist in the graph? Okay, I'm just listing out here A to B, A to D, A to C, A to F, and then D to B to D, B to E, okay, B to F, D to E, D to F, E to F. So how I'm selecting these edges can be reached, okay, in this particular given graph. The graph is available here, okay. So you see, is there a shortest path between A to B? A to B, there is a path is there, one path. A to D, there is one path. A to E, there is a path. A to F, there is a path. It is not a step, it is a path, okay. So we have shortest paths over here. Now the third column, see this column, you check whether this A and B can be reached through this vertex C. You understand? Whether C is in between these two different nodes can be reached. Whether you need A to B, whether you need C, no, C is not needed here. To reach A to D, you have to pass through C. So you just put one. That is one path is there. A to E. Okay, A to E. To reach A to E, whether there is one path between, whether you're passing through C, S. So you put one. Okay. And then A to F, whether you're passing through C, if so, you just put one. So in this way, you just give the value if the vertices are going to get passed through C. Because C is the vertex, we are going to find the betweenness centrality. So you see D to E, to reach D to E, whether you need to pass through C, no, 0. So you just put 0. D to F, 0. E to F, 0. Now what you're going to do is, you divide it, the numerator by denominator. Okay, so what is this U comma V? This is the shortest path that exists between the nodes in the network divided by the shortest path that pass through the vertex C. Okay, so when we are doing this, we will get 1 divided by 0, 0, 1 divided by 0, 0, all others will be 1. You sum up all these values, that is the betweenness centrality of C. Okay, now you compute for D, compute for A, compute for B, E, F. You will identify C and D will be the two nodes which will have the highest betweenness centrality, because in my given network, if I have to start from a node and if I have to reach another node, the C and D will be the betweenness nodes. Okay, these nodes will act as a bridge for maximum number of traversals to happen. Okay, so that is the concept behind this betweenness centrality. Okay. So I hope I have given this idea. Now, the thing that you have to infer from this concept is, you'll be given some scenario. Okay, given some scenario, you should know which centrality measure you have to use. If given a graph, they will ask who is the maximum influencer. Okay, who is the person who has maximum number of connections? Who are the nodes which are acting as a bridge? Okay, so such a scenario you can expect during your exam point of view, and you should know which metric you have to select, okay, and which metric you have to calculate, that you should be aware of. Okay, so in the next class we will discuss about like community discovery. That is another interesting concept in our social network analysis. Okay, so with this I will wind up the class. Thank you, students. See, if you have any doubts, you can unmute yourself and ask. Otherwise, you type in a register number and you can move for the next class. Okay, thank you, students. One student absent, not here. Yeah, is not. Yes.
Ma'am, in DA1 question 1, it's like you have to do